The actor goes to Timothée Chalamet.
I know the classiest thing would be to downplay the effort that went into this role and how much this means to me, but the truth is this was 5.5 years of my life. I poured everything I had into playing this incomparable artist, Mr. Bob Dylan. And lastly, I can't downplay the significance of this award because it means the most to me. And I know we're in a subjective business, but the truth is I'm really in pursuit of greatness. I know people don't usually talk like that, but I want to be one of the greats. I'm inspired by the greats. I'm inspired by the greats here tonight. I'm as inspired by Daniel Day-Lewis and Marlon Brando and Viola Davis as I am by Michael Jordan and Michael Phelps, and I want to be up there.
I don't want to knock anybody's hustle, but Timothy, that should have stayed in your journal, my friend. I'm sorry, Timothy. You know, there's like inside thoughts and outside thoughts, and he just blurted it out, and I just thought to myself, you little brat. And I felt that if my daughter up there went up there and said something like that, I'd be like, to quote one Kendrick Lamar, be humble.
When did you know he was going to be a creative? I mean, you guys lived in the artist like high rise in New York. When did you know, like, okay, my kid, this is in his DNA?
Well, they had these talent shows at LaGuardia, which is a high school for the arts, and he had this personage that was Little Timmy Tim. Little Timmy Tim.
Little Timmy.
Timmy Tim, it's time to do my dance. Timmy Tim, pull up your...
The drama and acting came into my life really young, 13, 14 years old. You know, I used to be jealous of athletes who would go to these specialized high schools, or soccer players or basketball players who could play all day. And my father would tell me it was the privilege of my life that I wasn't stuck with a ball all day. He meant it in seriousness, you know, that I had the opportunity to go to school, but going to LaGuardia ended up being my version of that, where half the day you could skirt your way through the academics, and then the other half we were, you know, I was going extremely hard.
One in a zillion, about to net a million. Fruity colors on these numbers, call it a chameleon.
It's humiliating, but I'll show you guys.
How old were you there?
Here I'm 15, but I look like I'm 7. These are two good friends of mine, Sheree and Desiree. They're the only people in the world that did this talent show act with me. I probably asked 35 people.
Sometimes your need to say something is greater than what you have to say. That's not to say that you're a dumb actor or ignorant or anything, but that's why I admire Bob Dylan or these great lyricists or artists that generate the work. Maybe one day I'll generate the work. Maybe one day I'll write something great, but for now I bring life to. And LaGuardia gave me that path because I had so much cooking when I was a teenager, like many people do, but I had so much to get out, and I felt like I found something I was good at in life. And you grow up in New York and you're really growing up like in a pressure cooker, and you're like, and I don't want to live, you know, I wanted something greater for myself. You know, they say don't get into acting if you want to have a better life for yourself, you know, but man, I got this fancy green shirt on now, so, you know, fucking A.
I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul.
Not another poem?
Yeah, not by me. Wish I felt like that.
Like what?
I don't know, like I was the master of my fate.
What would you do?
What would I do? I'd smoke. I'd drink. I'd hitchhike all over the country, catch fish, eat corn from the cornfields, write poems like Walt Whitman, just naming everything. And I'd punch anybody who bothered me. Pow! Right in the face. I'd fight in wars. Say everything that came into my head. I'd travel through time, too. Meet all the geniuses. Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah, it's impossible though.
It's a prison to think things are impossible.
I was struggling with identity, and I was struggling with your sense of self-respect or your sense of drive or where you want to be pales in comparison to where you are. Call Me By Your Name changed everything. I was 21 when it came out. I became the youngest person to be nominated for an Academy Award in almost 80 years. Then came Lady Bird. I wasn't the lead, but people noticed. Kyle was, little shit, but he was real and kind of unforgettable.
Sometimes it's not the character who says the most that gets remembered. Sometimes it's the guy who makes you roll your eyes and then gets stuck in your head anyway. Beautiful Boy was the first time I felt completely emptied. It was emotionally brutal, but it also gave me purpose. It made me think differently about what kind of work I want to do. I had to break myself open for that one. And Steve Carell, man, he held that story like it mattered, because it did. Then Laurie, a dreamer, a heartbreaker, a reminder that you can want something with all your soul and still not get it. Laurie taught me grace. He taught me how to carry disappointment without bitterness. That role was like falling in love and getting rejected in the same breath. I loved it. I needed to get lost in something bigger, so I said yes to the king. Sword in one hand, Shakespeare in the other. That was my transformation, from Elio to something heavier. There was a fear behind his eyes I connected to, that voice inside that says, I'm not ready, but they expect me to be. And then came Dune. Not a movie, a world. Paul Atreides isn't just a character, he's destiny, burden, legacy. That role didn't just grow on me, it consumed me. I'd never experienced anything like it. Millions of people, generations of fans, all waiting to see if I could carry their expectations.
A world of pure imagination.
So yeah, when I said I was doing Wonka, people raised eyebrows, and that's fine, because being great means confusing people sometimes. Wonka is all heart. He's ambition without cynicism. And for someone like me, whose roles usually live in the shadows, that was refreshing. And Bones and All, that was for me. For the kid who loves art, who wants to take risks, who still believes in raw stories about love, pain, hunger, whatever form it takes. I'll be honest, I needed that after Dune, after Wonka, after all the headlines. I needed something quiet and aching. Every role I've taken, from love stories to war epics to candy-coated musicals, has taught me something about who I am. I'm not finished, not close, but I'm not afraid of wanting more. And if that's a paradox, then I'll live in it, bones and all. People ask me why I said it. I'm in pursuit of greatness, and yeah, I get why it rubs some the wrong way, but I meant it. Not fame, not perfection, greatness. The kind that's quiet, earned, felt. After everything, after Elio, Laurie, Paul, Lee, I'm still learning how to hold it. I'm not trying to be the biggest. I'm trying to be true. And if that ambition makes people uncomfortable, so be it. Because I'd rather be misunderstood while chasing meaning than praised for playing it safe. Because this industry will give you everything, then make you doubt you deserved any of it. And I felt that, the high of a standing ovation, the low of a headline twisting your words. But I've also felt what it's like to connect, to reach someone. I'm still walking, still learning, still trying to honor the characters that changed me. Elio, Nick, Laurie, Paul, Lee, Wonka. I carry all of them with me.
Keep your heart on your sleeve as an actor. That's your instrument. Your ability to make yourself an open wound is what will communicate to the audience and hopefully serve as a therapeutic device for people experiencing something similar to the story.
I think when you're growing up, you always feel out of your body. You're looking in the mirror to confirm your identity or to shred your identity or to hate yourself. And, I think that's probably the most challenging period in life when you're truly a fish out of water. But the brilliance in that too is then you can kind of search for your identity, search for what makes you feel grounded, find the good people in your life, those non-toxic ass people. And I think that's, that's what I would say.
What's good, YouTube? This is Modded Controller 360 with the Controller of the Week. Here's Red Tiger. Started it today, yesterday, finished it today. It looks nice, it looks sexy. It's the front, here's the back, here's the front. So get behind, 72. This is pretty much what it would look like. And again, I have you for $10, plus shipping and handling and the new controller. This one specifically, this is going to Stud Muffins. This is a gamer tag. I'm not going to give out the full gamer tag, but Stud Muffins. This is going to be 15 for him. So, again, suggest colors for next week. One suggested was Purple Jet. jet black, I mean, and purple, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to do that next week. Again, subscribe if you want, comment below, suggest the colors, and see you next week.